y'all, Farmer Dre back at it. It's a beautiful fall day here on the farm. I'm gonna hop on here real quick and give you guys a little strawberry plant update and some of the concerns that I'm seeing in the planting for the 2023 season. So the plants have been in the ground for 15 days now. So it has been 2 weeks and a day since we went ahead and planted these. So we planted these fairly quickly. If you guys saw my video about planting strawberries, we got 47,000 plants planted in 20 hours. So the boys and myself are out here going to town hardcore, just plant as many as we can. Got them all done in 20 hours. I've been doing my part. I've been watering them. I've been fertilizing them, making sure the plants are healthy. There's no pressure from the other side. And the plants have been doing good, have been growing nicely, so I'm not to complain about that. I'm gonna go and show you guys the plants, how they're looking, and what to do to keep the plants happy and growing. Alrighty, so this is the back section here. So we have 30,000 Ruby June planted in this back section, and about 1,000 Font Terrace in the back corner, and that's my section of Chandler's right there. But these are the Ruby Junes. The plants are looking a whole lot better now. We're seeing a lot of new nice growth here. These plants were kind of rough looking when we first planted them. There was a lot of dead leaves on them, just kind of rough looking. But the plants are looking really, really good now. I am actually super shocked how fast these plants took. Or I mean, how fast they just settled in and the roots started growing. Like this plant right here. This is an original leaf from the transplant. Then we have some beautiful, fresh leaves growing. And we've been super dry here in Missouri. We just got rain last night, about 1/8 of an inch. But it's been super dry, so everything's super dusty. All the beds are super dusty. The driveway is still super dusty. Look at this. It's actually a little wetter than it was. But yeah, it's been dry and warm. So the warm is kind of good because the plants are looking good now because it was so warm and they've been growing. So I have not to complain about the weather. But yeah, plants are still looking strong and growing nicely, so can't complain. They're looking a whole lot better, like I mentioned, than I thought or expected. But as long as they're pushing growth, that's all I care about. So the Chandlers were a much smaller plant. They were kind of sad looking, honestly. Went ahead and planted them, had no choice over the matter. But they greened up a whole lot. They're a lot more yellow, but they've been growing. And you can see here, they're just tiny, they're on the smaller side, but they're growing. Got some new leaves in here. Gonna plot this grass. No grass needed there. But yeah, Chandler's looking good as well. So the plants are growing, and usually I like to see more grass growing in between the rows, but it's been so dry that there hasn't been any moisture. There's a grass seed right there, but there hasn't been any moisture to, get these plants growing. You can see there's green on the side. That's because I watered the beds, and that's just the overflow and the water just seeping down through the drip tape. But yeah, plants are looking good, nice and solid. So not too bad. So the plants aren't looking too terribly bad. One thing that concerns me is that there's not enough time in this fall to continue to grow out the plants. So the most ideal situation is the plants would be planted by in between September 5th to about September 15th is the latest you want to plant, especially in our area here. And over the years, in my personal experience growing strawberries, that's the most ideal situation. If you push about the 20th is still a little on the later side, but hey, you still get good production. You'll get at least a pound per plant if you plant on the 20th of September, the latest. But this year, since we have such a wet spring, my plant suppliers couldn't get their plugs in time, and they were delayed a couple weeks from that. And by the time they got them in the ground, by the time they got them all rooted and everything, so we got the plants on September 25th, and we started planting a couple days later because they brought in the plants on a Friday, and we planted on a Monday. So Monday and Tuesday we planted all of them. So it was much later than I would like to see and expect. But I can't control the situation about the plants. The only thing that concerns me about late planting is we don't have enough. First of all, we don't have enough daylight because the days in the fall keeps getting shorter and shorter, and the temperature is starting to decline or decrease or get cooler, I guess. So the temperature's cooling down drastically now. We're in the second week of October now. There's not enough sunlight. Temperatures are cooling off. So I'm not sure what to expect for this strawberry season. The only thing we can do is pray for a beautiful fall. And if it can stay warm or warm enough until about middle of December, we should be all right. But how it looks now and how it projects, we're probably not going to have a bumper crop this next season, just because of late planting and then of course the quality of plants we got in this year weren't the greatest, weren't the best that I've seen. But you know, it kind of is what it is. There's no going back now. I can't change the situation, so we just got to make our situation the best as possible. And I'm gonna get into what I've been doing and trying to get these plants growing as fast as possible. Alrighty, so the thing that I've been doing, first thing is first, keeping the beds as moist as possible. So about once a week here, I've been irrigating each section. We have 3 different sections here. And I've been irrigating this for about 4 to 5 hours, just really soaking in those beds, making sure that there is absolutely no reason the plants should grow of lack of water. So keeping the plants as moist as possible, and of course fertilizing them. So early on, I hit them with the same high phosphorus starter fertilizer that we put in the transplanter to transplant in the fertilizer water. I've been putting that to the strawberry plants and just keeping that, just trying to get that root system as activated as fast as possible. So that's what I did, and I'm going to go ahead and fertilize them again this week with the same stuff, just trying to get those plants pushed as fast as possible. And also in the transplanter tank, we were putting about 4 pounds of fertilizer in a 160 gallon tank. So just trying to get those plants going as fast as possible. Another thing I tried out this season is I got some inoculant, some fungi inoculant from my plant supplier and put in the watering system. And I think that's one of the reasons why the plants took off so fast, is that inoculant really pushed those root systems to go and hit. And 14 days later, we got a couple true leaves out of the strawberry plant. So the way it looks now, I was really concerned and stressed of whenever we first got the plants, but as the plants are growing, as weeks are coming along, they're looking a whole lot better. There's a lot more promise in them now, so I'm a little more relieved. But you know, at the end of the day, this is agriculture, this is farming. You know, there's stuff we can control and stuff we can't control. So I'm doing everything in my power to make sure these plants are pushing and growing. And like I said, it's still about the middle of October, so if it stays nice and warm throughout, you know, November and part of December, we should be all right before we put the row covers on. So I just want to hop on here and give you guys an update, let you guys know how the plants are looking, and how everything's going to be turning out, and hopefully everything will be all right. I was just looking here, turning on the water for the strawberries, but this is the inoculant that I used. It's a mycorrhizal inoculant here. My plant supplier gave it to me, or I bought it off him. I think it's like $40, $50 a bag. And one of these bags does 10,000 plants. So we have a little bit extra here, about a quarter of a bag left. So it's just a powder we put in there. I'm not sure if it worked or not, but I did it on all the plants. So every single plant that we planted here got this stuff. And like I mentioned, the plants have kicked off in gear. So I'm assuming it really helped out. So there's no way of telling. Like I said, I don't have a way to say it didn't help or it did help, but I'm hoping that it did help, and they're hoping everything's going good. But I just turned on the water here and irrigating this block section right now. I'm gonna go get some fertilizer and start fertilizing. All right, so this is stuff I'm using. It's a 945-15. It's a plant starter fertilizer. I don't have a knife on me today. I'll find something here to open this. I'm gonna try to be Mr. Macho Man here and try to open the bag up by hand. Maybe, maybe not. We'll have to take a knife in the house. Well, I guess I gotta find something. Let's see if I can find a piece of metal or something in here. Possibly. Here's a file that I use on the ultralator. There we go. Bag up here. I'm doing the whole 25-pound bag per acre. It's a little more than an acre, but so all I'm going to do there, fill it up with water and inject it into the system. And you guys have seen these. If you guys have been watching my channel, it's just a Venturi filter, or injector, not filter here. So go and turn on this valve here. It just starts sucking up the fertilizer like that into the system. And I've been asked before, hey, how much do you know how much you're putting? So I always measure the fertilizer per acre. So I just know that much fertilizer is going to be on about an acre, acre and a quarter. So that's all I do. There's ways you can adjust it and find the right amount of rate and stuff, but I just make sure that all that fertilizer can go in that one section, and that's it. So right now I am fertilizing the strawberries. Entire fertilizer setup. So if you guys want this whole entire setup right here, or just I have a video on how to build this. If you guys want that injector, go and check out the link down in the description box below, or go to farmerdresupply.com, get all the fertilizer and your injector there. But like I mentioned, I'm gonna do everything in my power to get these strawberries growing. And the only thing I can be doing is fertilizing them and watering them. And that's about 3/4 of the job when it comes to maintaining strawberries and growing them. And of course, you know, spraying applications in the spring and whatnot. But when it comes to fall maintenance on strawberries, that's all it is. Fertilizing them, watering them, and you should be good to go. All right, y'all, this is gonna be it for today. Just a quick little strawberry update video showing you guys how we fertilize. So like I mentioned earlier, if you guys want to check out farmerdresupply.com, that's where you're able to find all your fertilizers and your injectors. Go and check it out. Link is always in the description box below. All right, y'all, this is gonna be it for today. If you guys haven't already, go and hit that subscribe button, smash the like button if you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget, hit that notification icon so you guys can be notified whenever I do upload a video. I want to say thanks for watching up to this point. Y'all have a good day. We will see you next time.